I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, then come over here. For the day done, you are gonna love over yourself.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Yes. Greetings and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Management, and I'm happy to be with you one more day. This is the big show, the schoolboy football show, and things are heating up. Things are getting hot in schoolboy football. The star players are showing their class. Strange goals are being scored. Teams are being upset here, there, and everywhere. In the Manning Cup, the Da Costa Cup, a lot of uncertainty remains as to who will go through and who will kick the bucket and not make it. It looks like one of the favorites so far, the great Russies from Outer Hanover, will not be making it this time around. You have teams who have maximized their points like William Knibb and Garvey Marcel. All kind of things. Players in problems. All of those things happening all around the league. So problem. What's going on, people? Welcome. It's good to be here with you, like I said. Welcome to all the persons who are watching at this time. We have an all-star host of panelists, and I'm going to bring them on shortly after I pay tribute and big up our sponsors, Trick Nick, the Jamaican-owned and operated company in Canada that uses authentic Jamaican herbs and spices to make all their products. Listen, all you have to do to get 25% discount from Tricknick is to shop at www.tricknick.ca and use, watch this, the code I am sure sports 001, and you will get that discount. Yes, people, check it out and let me know what your thoughts are. Again, big apologies for the interview that we should have had yesterday with Duran Tati Brown. It didn't work out, but this evening we're going to have Linval Rudy Dixon on the show. Yes, sharing his journey at 5:30, and that's like a hour and a half show. So make sure you lock in to that. Yes. So we're going to have our credit giveaway in that show. So stick and stay with us. All right, let me bring in our panelists for today's show. We have the scouting guru of Jamaica. when you talk about finding the talent in whatever crevice or corner they are in, this is the man. They call him Maxwell. He titles himself the leader. He works closely with Calabar. He works with other schools as well, but it seems like he's, on the Calabar bandwagon right now. I don't know, but he's also at Cavaliers, and we have the man out there in St. Catherine giving us the scoop on what is happening at Dintel, what is happening at Charlie Mount and McGrath and all of those schools out there that I don't know. The last team from that area to win the Manning Cup was Dintel way back before some of us were even born. But what's going to happen? Black Friday. Big up people. All of you on Black Friday. You see some of the money that you're going to use to shop, drop it in some super chat. Well, I don't have any super chat. Look at that. But you can contribute to the channel if you want. And we're going to put up a PayPal account that you can do that too instead of doing super chats. All right. My guests, good morning and welcome, Sir Maxwell and Sir Unseen Sport Javan Parchment. How you all doing?
Quite good, man's man. Quite good.
I'm okay. Ready to, talk the things I mean on this show.
Wonderful. All right, Sir Maxwell. I mean, what say you? Let's begin with you. What from the last set of games, what stood out to you, and what are you looking forward to in the fixtures coming up over this weekend?
Okay, everything, last set of fixtures, as I said, by this week, we're going to start seeing the stronger teams, taking their rightful place, in the whole tournament for the SBL. I'm going to speak on the Manning Cup, but even it's showing in the Costa Cup also. But we saw most of the favorites, Kingston College, St. Catherine, Camperdown. We saw them, doing fairly well. St. Catherine had a little blip, but to be honest, the blip that they had with Mona shows that one thing. Craig Butler, his style may be a bit eccentric, but he has something going, and I think that Mona side would be the unluckiest side this year to be a place in that zone. The biggest result that up to this morning I was being taunted on was that wonder goal by Keshawn Wisdom of Kingston High, and I think that might be Kingston High's biggest win ever in the history.
Who did they defeat?
They actually beat one of the favorites, Calabar High School. They took them right down. In a match that a lot of people are saying the goal that was scored might very well be the goal of the season. Because it was. Yes. Go ahead.
Sorry, I heard that when Mr. Wisdom was interviewed at the end of the game, he was saying that he did that kind of a thing regularly in training. What say you?
Look here. Up to this morning at training, we were speaking about it, and when I looked at it initially, you saw where he told the other guy to leave it, and he directed his body. He was trying to direct it. He was looking where he was kicking it. It wasn't just a clearance. It was a deliberate. Really? It was. Look back at the shot. Look where his head is. It was deliberate. I'm telling a lot of people still it was freakish. But honestly, when you look closely at it, it was deliberate. He did try to deliberately put it there.
Whoa. So I thought I heard him saying, "Oh!" when he was kicking that ball. So I was very surprised that he said that, because I clearly heard that when he was out. So I don't know, he was telling them.
He was aiming. I'm telling you, if you look at him, he did. It was out, but he was still looking to put it back up towards that goal. I don't think, to be honest, if he got it 10 tries again, I don't think he'd be able to do it twice. Okay. But it was just one of those goals that later on, when he's in his 70s, he'll be able to speak about.
Yes.
That's for against Calabar.
Mr. Unseen, what about you? I know you're. Yeah. what say you? What was the fixture for you, or what are the games? What stood out from the games over Wednesday, Thursday, and Tuesday? And since the last time we did the show, what are you looking forward to in this weekend's fixtures?
Well, Maxwell talked about the Morning Cup, so I'll go over to the Dakasa Cup. The Glenmore and the Edinallen game, that was a good game based on the scoreline. I think it's 3-2. Edinallen is right there in the mix. And they have Lennon today. They have Lennon tomorrow, sorry. They have Lennon tomorrow. And Glenmore has Carnan College tomorrow. So it's going to be a sticky ding dang battle who to come out in that group second or first.
Yeah, because Lennon is on 10 points, Clarendon on 10, Glenmuir on 9, and Edwin Allen on 9. And they all played 4 games. So yeah. And like you said that Lennon plays Edwin Allen. And
Lennon plays Edwin Allen tomorrow.
And Glenmuir and Clarendon meet.
Yes, so it's a ding dong battle. Those 2 games are hard games tomorrow. Well, it's going to decide who comes second and who comes third.
Yeah. Those are some big derby games,
And today's game with Peter Spiel and Mannings is going to be a dog ding dong battle down there, and also Froome and Rossi's game. As Rossi's don't want to drop out of the competition looking like hopeless. They want to prove a point, so they are going hard for the last couple games they have.
Yeah, I think you should stick to the St. Catherine teams, because you can't. When you come on to Manning's thing, I have the scoop on that, so don't go over that side. Stay with Dintil and Charlie Mount and McGrath. Tell us about what is happening over there, because there is a big game coming up this weekend as well between Dintil and Charlie Mount, because they are first and second.
So it's going to be a TV game, right? Charlie Mount against Dintil and Ultras against York Castle. So
that is St. Ann Derby and the St. Catherine Derby. Yeah.
So if Charlie Mount loses that game, they are in a bad stage where they can drop out of the competition, because Ultras as a matching and they play 3 games. Charlie Mount play 4 and at 8 points, and Ultras on 5 from 3 games. So
there's a next team. McGrath is also on 5 points in that zone.
5 points from 4 games.
Okay.
So it's difficult for them, but for Ultras, it's quite easy. Ultras played the 2 hardest team in the group earlier, which is Charlie Mount and Dintil, and those games. So they have the easiest games now in the St. Ann team, the Brownstone, the York Castle, and the St. Mary. So that's what they have left now. So it's going to be, and their goal difference is good. So Charlie Mount can't afford to lose this game. Dintil at the next side can't afford to lose neither.
Yeah, but the other zone, Maxwell, I don't know if you're following, is that zone with the clever, the wildy old guru, the gaffer himself, surprising everybody with this Monroe team, because most people had Stets and BB Cook. Monroe is leading that zone, to the surprise of maybe of the people outside of the coaching setup down there at Monroe, for they are on 9 points. And BB Cook, the much talked about BB Cook, they are on 7 in second. Stets are also on 7. Lacovia on 6. And Magati, who surprised BB Cook, are also on 6 points. Watch the thing with this zone now.
Well, look,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only one game each team have, Do you realize that?
Yeah, look here. What is going to happen this year? The smarter coaches, especially because it's one single round, the smarter coaches are going to get edges on a lot of people. Because normally, when we have the return fixtures, that's when coaches, they analyze the next team and then they are able to walk through them. So now you don't really have that luxury. So a lot of teams that normally pick up speed, that's one of the things that normally happens. But with Jackie Walters, he knows what he's doing. Even that thing where he did the other day by having his players literally not changed like he's going to use him. He's using all of his knowledge that he has gotten, and I think he will probably top that group.
What I'll say is that I don't think so, you know, because Stet's last game, which is today, is against Mount St. Joseph tomorrow.
Oh.
So that's a big win for Stets. You know who Monroe plays? BB Coke. That's first. So one of those two teams, Stets need a draw to advance. BB Coke needs to win. Hi.
Let's see how Jackie Walters is. And I'm going to tell you, I would put money on Jackie Walters tomorrow. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to.
You're going to put your money on Jackie Walters. He's going to figure out a way. So
Not
all they need, you know.
Not Monroe, but Jackie Walters, the coach.
Okay. Yeah, man. Fresh God is correcting me saying that, yeah, Glenmore is on 6 points. That is true. Lennon, Clarendon on 10 and Edwin on 9. Thank you, Fresh God. Yeah. So they need a draw against BB Coke. BB Coke has to win. Stets, they are going to defeat, I believe, Mount St. Joseph. And the other interesting thing is that Lacovia, who are on 6 points, because if Stets somehow loses, right, Lacovia plays Magati. And both of those teams, anyone who wins goes on 9 points. So say Stets beat BB Coke, they would be on 7. No, say Monroe beats BB Coke and goes to 12. BB Coke will be still on 7. All right. Stets, say Stets win, they go to 10. I guess they go through. I'm wondering if there's any spot for third place in the DaCosta Cup. I don't even know how the next round is, or is just first two. I don't even know how.
The DaCosta Cup is different. I think it's the first two, you know. Can't remember. Well, I'm not sure this year. Because remember, normally it's a little bit more complicated in the DaCosta Cup. Because normally
here's someone explaining.
I'm not 100% sure how it goes this year.
Okay, here's someone saying that tomorrow isn't their last match. They're saying that the top 4 in that zone will be playing for first and second place come next week.
Okay. Because normally you have cross zone somewhere around that period, but it looks like they're in that. So that sounds like.
It's because of the small amount of teams in the group.
Oh. Because there are only 6 teams in that zone.
I think.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's true.
Is it for that one zone?
I don't hear Issa come up with that. I'm just hearing people saying it.
That sounds very strange.
That doesn't sound just doesn't sound right.
Issa don't send a bulletin, so until Issa send a bulletin, we will know if it's true.
I'm wondering. It sounds.
Hold on. Fresh God is saying that what he heard is that first will play third and second will play fourth. I heard that from a player. Oh, we need to check that out. Let me see if I can. All right, so you guys go ahead. I'm going to call and verify it.
First and second. Give at least one extra match.
Yeah, but go ahead and talk a little bit more about tomorrow's game, Maxwell, and then I'm going to call and verify this. I'm going to get some information on it and then I'll come back.
Okay. Well, tomorrow we have the matchups. Well, not tomorrow, today. Today we're looking at some teams that the Charlie Smith Calabar matchup. I think a lot of people are going to be looking at that one. That one might basically eliminate Calabar or give them hope of going further in the competition. Charlie Smith, on the other hand, they also have hopes that if they win that, they are just on the cups of going through after that. Because I think Charlie Smith, they have one more match after that, I think it is. Right.
Where's that match?
Let me see. That match is at Stadium East. Right. We have the Blues, the dark blues and light blues. St. George's JC. That one, I think St. George's is going to get another, brought back down to earth. Because, as I said, the side is very young. all but one member of that team, I think, should be coming back next year and the following year and the following year. So that St. George's team is literally almost a 3-year team ready, you know, in waiting. I'm expecting at least 2 years from now, all of the St. George's people, don't worry. Within 2 to 3 years, you'll be back up there. But for right now, don't pressure the side too much. Okay? Hold on there. Okay. The other match that's going to be out there, the Kingston High versus Bridgeport. Right? That match, I think, would be, it's an academic match. I don't know how much of a chance Bridgeport does have, you know, realistically in the competition, but, you know, it should be a match that both of them should be playing for with some pride to see how they do, right? The other match for the day, Wilmers will try to look to get their thing off the ground, so to speak, against Clancarty, which I think they should win easily, because the Wilmers team against KC, although KC, I told you people about that team. That KC team is a team of men versus boys. Literally a team of men, right? Because St. George, when you look at the average age at St. George's to KC, cheese a chalk. You can't compare it, you know? So those are the matches that are basically
All right, we seem to have lost Maxwell. Maybe you're going to have to sign in and sign out, Sir Max, and then come back on. But I just verified it, people. So all the zones that have less than 7 teams, they will go into a playoff. All the zones, all right? So let me give you those. So where you're going to have a playoff. The zone, for example, that has 5 teams, St. Thomas, Paul Bogle, Port Antonio, Seaford, and Happy Grove, there is going to be a playoff in over there, right? Because they have less than 7 teams. All right, the Kemshill, Old Harbour, Central, Fogo Road, Vere, and Garvey Maceo, they are going to have a playoff as well. The zone with Lennon, Clarendon College, Edwin Allen, Glenmuir, Denby, and Claude McKay are going to have a playoff. And the zone with Stets, there is going to be a playoff. For the other zones, it is just first and second place. So zone, so it's going to be first and second place going through for the other zones.
Good job, Marines, man. Good job.
Well, there has to be, but not only that. A, B, C, D, E, F, 7. There has to be let's check it again and count how many zones. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, right? And then that way you'll have 16 teams in total coming out. So the zones that have six and less teams, they are going to be in a playoff to find first and second at the end of the preliminary round. So all of these games, I think, will be played next week to select those and things. So, yeah.
Ding and buckle over in the Clarendon group here, man.
Yes, yeah.
That's anyone in...
Hold on a sec. You're muted, Maxwell. Go ahead now. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, you guys sound a little bit lower to me right now.
Still low?
You hearing me now? You hearing now?
Okay, though.
It's okay now?
Still low. I don't know. It might be my device still. I'm okay, though. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, so what they're saying is that, let me just repeat, the zones that have 6 and less team, they're going to have a playoff, right? So all of those zones, they're going to have playoff to determine which two comes through first place third, second place fourth. And the 2 teams come through, and then you'll have a 16-team playoff to determine semifinals and finals in the Da Costa Cup. So the teams with 7 and more, the groups with 7 and more in their zone, first and second will come through. Yep.
2 teams are sure though for second round though, man.
Who?
In Garvey must say with 12 points.
Can be. They have a playoff game. They're gonna have to win their playoff game.
They have 5. They have 6.
Because they have 6 in their zone, so they're still gonna have to go through playoff.
Okay. William Nib though.
Yeah, William Nib's zone is different.
Yeah, William Nib is sure to go to. So that means William Nib is the only short team to go second round.
Well, so far, because William Nib has gained maximum points because they have played 4 games and they have 12 points, right? But they still have 3 games left, because there are 8 teams in that zone. That is zone A.
Okay.
You understand? And Herbert, Morrison, and Cornwall are right behind them. So you can't even, you just don't know. I know from, yeah, and even the Manning zone, the teams only play 3 games. So all the top 3 teams have 3 games. It's like that Monroe playoff I could see, because now the only team who cannot make the playoff is Mount St. Joseph. So the game between, so you can basically say Magotty, Monroe has made the playoff, BB Coke has made the playoff, Stets has made the playoff. The game between Lacovia and Magotty is the most interesting game, because determine who wins or who loses, that team makes the playoff. So all you have to do now is to determine who you want to match up against. You understand me? Like, if you are going to play, you can determine, should I lose this game so I can play this team, or should I win this game? So you understand me? That's all that needs to be determined. But thanks, Jody Smith. Really appreciate that. Then the Clarendon College zone is also a playoff zone as well. Right? Because you have Lennon. So the 4 teams that have gone through, all of these 4 teams are going to be in the playoff. Nobody else can stop them. So right now the playoff would be Clarendon versus Glenmuir and Edwin Allen versus Lennon. So depending on what, and these are going to be the fixtures now,
Right.
You realize?
Yes.
The fixtures now would be what the playoff would be like. It's very interesting, because depending on who wins and lose, then you change up the fixtures. Can you imagine if Lennon and Clarendon meet in a playoff? Yo, that zone hot. Yeah, Rossi's. Yeah, man. Rossi's is definitely done and dusted.
No.
They can't come back in this. Stephen Mitchell is saying that's ridiculous. We have decided who will go through. Garvey must say we win all their matches and lose the playoff, which would be quite. Stephen Mitchell, I was just going to say that. I think what should have happened is like what happened in cricket, where the first place team goes straight through. Then you have third and fourth play, and the winner of the third and fourth place team plays second place to see. But you can't have a team win all their preliminary games and then go and play a playoff. You can imagine you have maximum points and lose the playoff on penalties.
Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One is one. You hear mine is one?
Yeah, I heard that. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Like, it's unfair to Garvey must say, and because they would have won all their preliminary round games, and then they're going to have to play the third place team. They should have just gone straight through, and then you determine who comes second.
Right.
I think that would have been better. Send the first place team through,
and then have the last ones
third
play
and fourth. Yeah, third and fourth play, and then the winner of that play second place to determine who is the second team to go through.
Yeah, that makes more sense because it's like you're going to be penalizing the team that has the best record. Makes no sense.
Yeah. And then somebody saying that
is that for the same thing in the Money Cup?
Huh? No. I think Money Cup, everybody, you just go through on the best third place team, the two best third place team.
Then the two best, third place. That's it. Straightforward. The Manning Cup, to be honest, the Manning Cup style, nothing has changed. The only thing they have taken out is return matches. Nothing else.
Yeah.
But I think that Costa Cup normally had the cross zone matches, that sort of thing. So I guess that's where a little bit they made some changes. So they
only that Costa Cup. Yeah. And again, because they had to change up some of the zones, because your CC saying that they should have equalized the zones with the amount of teams. And he's saying that Gavin Massey could have been in Clarendon College zone. But I don't think it would have made any sense, because even if they went in the zone, both zones would still have, they didn't have enough teams to have 7 teams in a zone. You understand? Because it is basically, I think, 13 teams over there. 13, 6 and 6. It's 12 teams. So no matter how you put them, you would not have had, there are not 14 teams in Clarendon. You'd have to take a next team from a next parish. But it is, I don't think it is the best way to decide it. I don't think so. But listen, you know what though, Max, you know what I'm realizing? Like the smaller I don't know if you realize this, that the smaller the amount of teams is, the more competitive the competition is. Yeah, because there's no room for complacency, One simple mistake by losing a match can basically cost you the whole campaign, because there is no room for error. So that's basically, everybody has to be going all out from the start. Yeah. And the other thing, that in some of the zones, basically some teams might be looking and say, speaking from the Manning Cup perspective, you might have enough teams in there, so a team will know, say, okay, more than likely I can be able to get third place from this zone. But when it's a smaller amount, some teams know right away, look here, it's just top 2. The chance of getting a third place team coming out of this zone is almost impossible based on the amount of teams that are there. So that's why, as I said, things have changed this year because of just the one leg. It has really changed it up. And to be honest, I think it adds to the excitement. It does add to the excitement, because you have a lot of teams, dark horses, that normally wouldn't have factored. If we had 2 legs, some teams, coaches will be able to work out certain things in certain other teams, and then they neutralize certain key players by the second play them. That's one of the things. The KT team, I don't know if you're to play that team a second time and you know about the youngster Aldridge, might be a different thing when you play them again. Yeah. So, as I said, there are various things that going to come into play this season. And the teams with a weaker squad, Parchment, I'm going to ask you to take up this one. Do the teams with a weaker squad, right, have this benefit? Because I only have 18 players, 2 rounds a game. If I get 4 injuries, 2 yellow cards, I'm like hampered. But like a team with a big program could find replacement. So for me, with just 18 players in my small school, it works out better for me when there is 1 round of fixture, which is similar to what Maxwell was saying. What say you about that, Ansi?
Well, I agree with you. It's the team with the small program, it helps them with the 1 round, because they won't get a lot of injury like the team with the big program going out there trying to seek out wins every matches. You understand me? So with the playoff in the darkest in the playoff, it's going to be difficult for the top teams. Whoa. You just can't know who is going to come through the group. You understand?
Yeah.
I just think that, yeah.
It is on record also unseen. Maxwell, you remember this? It is on record unseen that you were confident that St. Catherine was not good and that Mona was going to beat them.
Well, the match draw.
No.
Yeah.
Whenever those.
So, are you still of the opinion that Mona can win Manning Cup?
I think they can come to the group.
Really?
I think they will come to the group.
Who is going to get eliminated out of that group? Let's go over to the Manning Cup.
All right.
Just for this one thing.
So
I need to talk about Manning. Yeah.
So Mannings, man. KC will play St. Catherine. Remember, St. Catherine, Mona played, lose the points against them. Right? Then Mona have Clancarty.
No, they didn't lose the points. They didn't lose the points. They already got the 3 points in the points.
Get any points. It was the same thing. They just lost the goal difference.
Yeah.
That's what it's the same thing. So the boardroom war.
No, it's two different things. It's two different things.
No, the match is not there anymore. You know, it's about the 3 points that they lost.
They didn't. Okay, all right, cool. Technically, they lost 3 points because
technically they lost 3 points.
Yeah.
Not the match anymore. So they play them and they lose that point. St. Catherine, which I know, which I think KC is going to be St. Catherine. Good goal is a positive 10 goal difference. Not popping. Mona is on positive 10 goal difference, which is goal difference on the board. St. Catherine has to beat KC.
Have to beat Papine.
Mona has to beat Wilmers. Mona has to beat Wilmers and
Clancarty.
Clancarty, told you.
Yes, Clancarty. So if Clancarty and
you're breaking up a lot, Parchment. So I'm going to take Maxwell and then we'll come back to you when the internet and your feed on your side gets better.
It's okay now.
Okay.
No, you're still breaking up. So let's yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, what I was gonna say that I looked at the match with Mona, and to be honest, Mona does look to have a capable team. There is a youngster there, Kenaldo Brown, right? I have a lot of time for him. He looked very, very good. He led the attack quite well. He's a 19-year-old big fellow. He has some skill and you can see the experience there. So at a lot of times, to be honest, I think Mona, with a little bit of luck, they should have won that match.
Let me tell you this. Somebody would have to convince me how that St. Catherine goal was ruled offside. It was not offside.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Right.
So really, Mona should have lost that game.
It took care. It could go either way.
Because I don't know what the linesman saw, but that was not offside. Well, go ahead, Parchment. What you saying? You're muted.
Parchment, you're muted. You're muted.
He's
Parchment.
freezing up, man. He's freezing up.
Yeah. Okay, let me just continue. Okay, that same particular zone we're looking at there with the team that might come out, I'm going to still put my bet on with St. Catherine because the key thing is now, the St. Catherine Papine match. That's one of the matches we have to look at. You understand? Because there are certain, look here, KC is going to beat everybody in that zone, right? So I don't see anybody, KC dropping any points to anybody. And that KC team is only going to get stronger, right? So You know, so if we take them out of the picture, it's going to be the other matchups with the other teams. So we know what Mona has done with Papine.
Papine, yeah.
What we want to see now is what happens when, you know, St. Catherine also has them. So these are the matchups that are going to, you know, make us see, you know, and then again, the Clancarty, because these are the teams. What's going to go down to, in my opinion, might be the goal difference.
Yeah.
The goal difference is what is going to happen, because they're going to have, because that match between Mona and St. Catherine ended in a draw. And the small amount of teams in that zone, the results of the other matches, the other teams that they are going to both, I think, beat up. It's going to down to who scores more goals. And
I'm going to surprise you guys. I'm going to surprise you and Parchment. And Anthony Patrick has won Walker Cup once, and 2 times he has won the Manning Cup. In that, he knows that all he has to do to qualify is not lose to Kingston College. So, and he knows that already. So he can go and play 4-5-1, because he knows even if I give Papine 1, I give Clancarty 1, all I have to do is not lose against. That is the advantage he has of playing them afterwards. You understand me? That is the advantage that he has. He knows that just don't lose to Kingston College. I can get a draw and I'm good. That way I don't have to worry about scoring 10 and 15 and 5 goals against any team. So let me set up my team with one person going forward, because they have a big, fast center forward that plays for them. I think he got injured in the game and he was taken off. And so he gets time to recover, hopefully, for the Kingston College game. But that's all they have to do. All they have to do is not lose against Kingston College. So if I am the coach, I am saying that, listen, we'd love to win, but make sure we don't lose. And I'm parking the bus. Like what Kingston High did against Calabar. I parked the bus against Kingston College and I draw that game, and I know that I am through to the next round. That is the advantage that St. Catherine has. Mona, good team, but they don't have that advantage. And I think that is going to work against them in this round of fixtures, right? And they are going to be under pressure. You understand me? Because the next set of fixtures is Clancarty versus, I think Clancarty plays Wolmer's, Kingston, and these are the fixtures for today. Today, St. George, yes, some good matches today, because St. George's plays Jamaica College, Kingston High plays Bridgeport. So if JC and George's draw and Kingston High win, you could see KT and Kingston High going through. So one of those 2 teams today, St. George's or Jamaica College, are getting knocked out. Right? Clancarty plays Wolmer's, Dunoon plays Tivoli, St. Jago plays Osemarty. Call it like a nothing game. Stats plays Excelsior. Right, so those are the fixtures, I think, for today. Jonathan Grant plays Camperdown. Papine plays St. Catherine. Now, if St. Catherine bugs up Papine, problems again. Well, that is Saturday. And then Jamaica College plays Kingston High on Saturday as well. So some very interesting fixtures coming up right now. Because I think today is it today that St. George's plays
light blues, light and dark blues today.
Light blues. If that game ties, both of those teams are going to be in problems.
Not gonna happen.
Okay, you're picking JC for the
win. At this point, as I was telling look here, that George's team, for at least another 3 years, the majority of that team is still at St. George's, So it's very, very young. Okay. JC at this stage, They know what's on the line, and I don't see them dropping any more points at this stage. Can't see that happening.
But let me ask you a next question though. Isn't the Wolmer's team very young as well?
Not as young as the St. George's. St. George's has about at least 2 to 3 starters that had just turned 15. Just meaning that, you know, they are Colts age players.
Okay.
They just turned 15. Right? And then the captain is just 1 year older. You know? The Wolmer's team, however, they have a lot of players on the team that are 17. You see? So they have 1 more year. Right? But, you know, after that, no, Wolmer's definitely going to be slipping after that because those players are gone.
Yeah,
sorry?
man. Go ahead, Parchment. You're all right. You're back. Go ahead. Yeah, man. We're hearing you. Go ahead.
Freezing.
No, man. We're hearing you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. So to what you're saying about the important fixtures, the deciders. What I was saying about the Mona team is that, you know, they have priority leave, right? So for me, I think based on how Mona is playing, they can get past Wolmer's and they're going to get past Concord. Now, St. Catherine have a hard game against KC, and we know that London Bernard won't give it up that easy. You have to come to win it. London Bernard is going for that win to maximize his firm grip on leading the group. So, based this against Mona, he was pinned down. Mona did not give him any space to play his normal. And I think KC won't allow him to play the same as well. So he's going to be in problems for me.
As I said, I expect everybody to lose to KC. Everybody will lose to KC. So that's just going to just neutralize everything, and then it's going to come down to goal difference. Where Wolmer's might be the spoiler. Wolmer's might be the spoiler in there. Between St. Catherine and Mona at this stage, Wolmer's is the spoiler. So that's where either the goal difference or the winner, the possible draw, that's who the spoiler is going to be in that group. Wolmer's not going to go through, but they'll act as a real spoiler for at this stage. Looking at Mona, I'm going to have to agree. They have a legitimate chance. But it might go down to the tactics of the coach. Patrick is very smart.
Yeah. All right. So listen, what are your thoughts now? You're on the JC St. George's game today, because I'm still not yet convinced by the Jamaica College team based on what I've seen. I like honestly, I wasn't even convinced with how KC performed, though they got the win. I just think they're a big team. Like I said, they are men versus boys, but they don't play like men. They play like boys, but they look like men. Like, I don't know, like JC has this pedigree, but I'm not seeing that in the games that I've watched. They look like just on par with the other teams, except they have the big names. And is it because of the same thing, like year to year, they normally take a little while to get into their groove, and they may not have that this year?
Okay, one of the reasons why JC sometimes takes a little while to get into the groove is because sometimes they have a lot of new pieces to their puzzle that have not blended. So that's one of the reasons why that it affects them. Plus the other fact that they have so much talent to pull from. And, you know, if a player not doing well, they'll go and they'll bring in somebody else. This year, they still have a couple of players that are new, but the other part of the thing is that they can't really pull for a lot of new players. For once, I think this is the first time I've seen JC introduce a 15-year-old at this stage of the competition as a start, you know, it's not really done, you know. So you can see that JC, you know, the normally vast talent pool is not as vast as it once was. So that is one of the things that are affecting them. But man for man, player for player, if you look from the goalkeeper going straight up, JC should have just enough to get the edge over St. George's.
Parchment.
I said the same thing, you know, JC have the edge over St. George's. Based on, you know, they have players who have more experience from right around, left back, right back, forwards, mid two. St. George's don't have that type of ammunition. So I will give JC the 3 points.
So let me.
It's unpredictable now. It's kind of, you know, any team can win. You have to come out to win this game. Remember, everybody is no fool. Tactics can be one of the things in that game to also, depending on how, you know, they never bet set up this team.
All right. So are you sticking with your prediction as to who coming out of the zone? Because remember when we started, you know, you had Kingston College and Mona coming through. I think in that zone, all of us at Kingston College, the second place team is where we all differed. I think I had. Did we have Mona? Did we all have Mona, or did I have St. Catherine?
You are
St. Catherine.
Yeah,
And you
Mona to come there.
All right. So that, are you sticking to everybody sticking to their guns, or anybody want to make change now?
No change.
No change. So St. Catherine, Kingston College, and Parchment is saying Mona, Kingston College. The first zone, this is zone A. This is a Jamaica College zone. All right. No, this is a tougher one. Are we all sticking to our early predictions? I had Calabar. I had Calabar and Jamaica College, I believe.
Okay, well, I'm making a slight change. Slight change. A player by the name of Mequan Aldridge really impressed me the other day, and I think he's going to be more than a handful for the match when Kingston Technical goes up against Bridgeport, and that will put them on 12 points. Those 12 points will be enough to take them out of that group. So in my opinion, right now, Kingston Technical, they are easily one of the early qualifiers, along with Kingston College and Camperdown for the next round. I can't see any of those three not going through at this stage.
All right, so Kingston Technical, you're picking in that zone.
For sure.
For sure. Who is the next team?
And the problem now is that, boy, Kingston High messed up things there. So right now, the maximum amount of points that both Calabar and Jamaica College can finish on is 13 points, right?
Yes.
Okay, the problem is that Calabar has a harder route to get to those 13 points compared to what JC has, because JC still has Kingston High, and although they didn't do badly, Bridgeport, right? And St. George's. So I think, knowing JC, I'd see JC getting those 13 points easier. Calabar, no. A lot of people had them as early favorites. If they are really early favorites, the matches against Kingston Technical, Charlie Smith, and St. George's will show if they have the pedigree for this year. If they win all of those three matches, they will top the group. I'm almost sure they'll have a good chance to top the group. But it might go down to goal difference again, and we might see JC sneaking past, because, as I said, JC has Kingston High to play. And I don't think JC, we're not going to say lightning striking twice in that particular match, because there were other factors, I think, in play when Kingston High and Calabar played. It's almost a derby because there are a lot of players on both sides that had something to prove. So at this stage, I'm only going to go with KT and Calabar JC. I'm not sure who's going to come. And to be honest, it might even work out that Kingston Technical is the third place. I'm going to tell you, but they will qualify.
What about Charlie Smith?
Okay, I mentioned that at some stage in the competition, some teams are going to reach their ceiling. We're going to start with Charlie Smith reaching that ceiling. I don't see them being in contention at all.
They have two of their Manning Cup winner down there coaching, Eugene Williams and Byron Earl.
Okay, Charlie Smith right now, I expect them to go to 9 points. Right? They have St. George's to play. However,
Charlie Smith got to 9 points. Oh, that's only three, getting only 3 more points from the 3 games.
They have Calabar to play.
Okay. So you're predicting a loss right there, yeah.
So I don't see, that's what I'm saying. I don't see Charlie Smith coming out at all. It's going to go down to the 3 teams that should come out, barring anything, will be JC, Calabar, KT. I know KT is qualified. I'm going to put my neck on the block. I don't say they're going to come first, though.
3 teams coming out of that zone, I believe.
They will. 3 teams will. The question is, who will come first, who will come second, who will come third? KT might be the early leader, and they might be passed by Calabar and JC. But they will go through, though.
Okay, but those 3 teams you're picking, Calabar, JC, and Kingston Technical. What about you, Javan?
Those are the 3. One of them already, I can stick my neck and say, yes, they are 100% sure, which is KT. But they might be just passed by the 2 track schools.
Yeah, I see. Brian saying from a Cavalier player saying he sees KT, the KT player shall be a Cavalier player in short order. That's Parchment. What say you? Who you picking out of that zone?
Someone is one. Calabar is my favorite. So although they lost that game, that's how football is sometimes. I still go with Calabar, and I'm surprised KT is in the mix. And they are doing well, especially with that player. I heard somebody said that he soon be a Cavaliers player in short order. So Maxwell, you do your scouting already. Yeah, I'm going with Jamaica College. Jamaica College, it's sticky for Jamaica College in a way, because they have Georges to play today.
And then they have KT to play next week, Monday.
All right. So it's
Kingston High.
Kingston High to play next week, Monday. That's a tough game, because
Kingston is on a rise.
Yeah, they're on a high. And they are playing Bridgeport. So if here's the thing, because if Kingston High beats Bridgeport, they are going to say, oh, we could come third. You understand me? So if they believe that, you know what is going to happen? They are going to go into that game against JC believing that they can go through.
Of course,
they have Bridgeport today. So imagine if they
I think the maximum that Kingston High can get is 9 points. No.
Kingston High?
I think so. No.
Yeah,
hold on. At this point, JC should get, even if they drop any more, they should get to 10.
Okay.
Right?
No. Okay. So right. So if JC, all right. So right, that is true. Yeah. Because they only have 2 games. Yeah.
Even with a little bit of slips, those 3 teams, I don't see, based off of who is left to play who, it will go within that mix. As I say, it's just between first, second, and third.
So Paul Maxwell. Yeah. So if JC drop points against St. George's College, and then Kingston High wins their game against Bridgeport, right?
Oh, well, that's different.
Into the JC game now. That's what Manning is saying. Coming to the JC game now. The coach, I go play 10 man at the back just to get a chance for the game. Okay, that's what he's saying.
The thing is, but I think all of us decide, and I've agreed on that JC will win against St. George's today.
Really?
So,
Well, as you speak about St. George is losing, the George's man has a... All right.
Chris, you have about 3 more years before you rebound. 3 more years before your team is ready.
Yeah. I did say it from the jump that the St. George's College team wasn't necessarily ready for the Manning Cup this year. I think that he's just using it to basically assess what the players need to do in order to be mature, to get ready, or to be more prepared for the Manning Cup for years to come. But it never surprised me because, as I said before, Kingston Technical has been very good in Group A. Not necessarily dropped the ball in the games that they've played. One of the games that they've played was a big game, and the two teams that are playing today, Kingston Technical have beaten both of them. So they have played very well in Group A, and they have a good chance of being the group winners for coming out of this group. So I think that these two, St. George's College and Jamaica College, they have a lot riding on this game. Both of them need to win this game, in my opinion, to really to come out as automatic qualifiers. So I think this is a very, very important game. The Calabar game, to me, the Calabar game was just a Hail Mary in NFL. You know, when the quarterback needs to get a touchdown and, you know, him throw it in the air, hopefully the wide receiver catches it and gets into the end zone for a touchdown and winning the game. That is what happened when the captain of Kingston High decided to launch it, and it dropped the right place at the right time for Kingston High to get their first 3 points of the season. So I think that loss to Calabar kind of opened it a little bit for second place, because now it is not as clear cut as we originally thought it would have been, because of that important 3 points that Kingston High has gotten against Calabar, who many people think, including Manning's man, that they will go to the Manning Cup final. So I think it's very important, their games going forward, as much as, they have this person to play or that team to play or that team to play. There's still a lot riding on it, and the Kingston High game showed you that, of course, anything can happen. The ball is around, and the match with Calabar and Kingston High proved it. So it's going to be very interesting what happens today between Jamaica College and St. George's College, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, one thing I know is that this coach cannot survive at Calabar, given that he benched Ainsworth.
Yeah, I think that was the wrong move. Of course, you know, Layla never short of making some changes that sometimes you have to scratch your head, and sometimes, and I don't want to cuss him at times, but he need the criticism. That's why Calabar hasn't been as successful. This is not Layla's first go around as the Calabar coach now, and the fact that you have constantly made the mistakes that has cost Calabar. I mean, my first match doing reporting for sports journalism was actually the Walker Cup semi-final between JC and Calabar. And I think David Layla was the coach of that team. That was 2017 or 18, and they got destroyed 7-0 against Jamaica College. Now, granted, of course, Jamaica College had the likes of Tyreek McGee and Norman Campbell.
That's a Calabar team with Oran Ferguson and those guys.
I mean, for you to get embarrassed that way, that kind of that was disappointing. And then, of course,
Shaka was the coach.
Oh, Shaka was the coach.
Shaka.
All right.
Yeah.
But David Layla, it's just Layla just needs to get his team refocused. I mean, look at Casey's game against Wolmans. Casey beat blank Wolmans, 2-0, and the look of well, I wouldn't say anger, but the look of disappointment on Ludlow Bernard's face. You would think that a 3-0 win must give Kingston College. And that because of the type of standard that Ludlow Bernard has placed on this team. And this team is one of the favorites to lift the trophy. And the fact that he placed so much on this team and the standard is 100% high, one of the highest in the competition. Blanking a team, getting a clean sheet against Wolmer's, and still being upset that there's so many things to work on just shows you how serious Ludlow Bernard is in getting 3 Manning Cup titles in 2 years for Kingston College. So David Layla needs to pull up his socks because that loss was a big blow. Every big team in the group, JC, they didn't lose against Kingston High. You lose against a shot that was a Hail Mary, and I mean, come on, man. I don't know, but Layla, if he fails to do anything significant in this Manning Cup team, I am not so sure he's gonna survive another season.
Yeah. So who are you picking? Go ahead, Parchment.
Yes, Chris, Calabar, I gotta take him out of the program quickly. I know that for sure. You understand? And even before he got the job, a lot of past students back out of the program. When it was Shaka, a lot of persons were in. And once later get it, everybody just back out like this and just allow him to. But luckily, his scouting, his scouts did well and get players into Calabar, or some of them may have been at the school and then go to Paul Maxwell club to get the necessary training. But Layla
to the school.
Parchment, you listen, you're mixing up. You have to get the facts right, brother. You're going to tell the people things that are good. That's not how it went, man. The guys were at the school.
Or at the club. No, they left from the club to the school. Had nothing to do with the coach.
There you go. It has nothing to do with the coach. There you go. Thank you. So don't get the thing mixed up. But who are you picking to go through? Go ahead, and then.
All right.
No, man, you go ahead, Parchment.
But what I'm saying is that is some of his decision that to play certain players, it come like Tapper, it come like Tapper. And I don't understand how Haynes or how he must start Haynes. I just can't understand it. I watch a game and he just have me last. I don't understand, and he's in a club system that won Premier League. You understand me? It lost me management, I swear.
You see why you can't give an assistant coach credit?
Hold on, gents.
Yeah. You see why you can't give an assistant coach credit? Because you like to do that. You like to give.
No, man. He's on a different part from some of the assistants.
Look here. Who lands the plane? It's a pilot. It's the captain lands the plane. Not
the co-pilot.
I can remember at that time I call his name and Maxwell says he's not necessarily coach, You understand me? Okay.
He's not necessarily the coach, he's an assistant. That is the point. That's the point you keep missing. But let me go on. I need to jump back to the Dacosta Cup because everybody keep talking about Mannings. All right. So let me tell you about Mannings. Petersfield won't beat Mannings. So you don't have to worry. The game is today. Mannings have Petersfield and they have Frome to play and they have Great Pond to play. All right. That's a minimum of 7 points for Mannings. All right. So Mannings are going to go through. Sure. Mannings are going to go through.
You can say that.
No, I'm telling you, Mannings are going to go through. But what I want to ask, though, as we come back to the Manning Cup is, so we believe that Zone A, 3 teams are coming through. In Zone C, do you think 3 teams are coming through? Zone C is the Kingston College, Mona St. Catherine zone. Or because if you look, or will it be from Zone B? Because in Zone B, you have teams on 12 and 8 and 7 points. from, you understand me? Zone B, right? Zone B, like Camperdown is through. Jonathan Grant have 8 points. Excelsior have 7. And these teams have 4 games left. So they have more opportunities than the teams in Group C, which is just 6 teams. So how do they determine? You understand me? There's an unfairness in how they
points.
Which is
I said before early in the thing that Mona is just unlucky this year to have been placed in that group, right? Because they, I think even the other teams, they know that it's going to be hard for a team to come out of that group.
Yeah.
Right.
Finish third, because when you look at the other zone, they have like 9 teams in it. So they have 8 games to play.
And then by St. Mary coming out, makes it even harder.
Yeah. There you go. St. Mary pulled out. And so here it is that Mona really only have 5 games, I think. They only have 5 games to play. Right?
Right.
That is the case. 5 games, and they have already played 4. They have only 3. So they have 2 games left, meaning they can only, if they win both games, they are on 10 points. Jonathan Grant wins 1 more game to pass them. Excelsior win 2 more games. You understand me? So if you're in those zones, you have no chance of going through as a 3rd place team. You have to aim for 1st or 2nd. And that is why I believe that if given Anthony Patrick's knowledge, he's going to look at drought at the Kingston College game.
Well, let me tell you a little thing, management. I spoke to the Kingston College coach after he played Mona. And he said the amount of congratulatory messages he got after that match. Boy, he was wondering if he had won the Manning Cup. Because I don't know.
You know what? I know why. Because a lot of people don't want Craig Butler to be fair. They don't want him to win. That is the truth.
But the ego, Craig's own ego, is a little bit overbearing, so to speak. So that win alone, when I called Ludlow, I remember, right? Both of them, himself and the assistant coach, said, boy, the amount of people that call him congratulating them. They said, boy, they thought he'd win the Manning Cup, and it's just the first match.
I'm wondering some of those
schools, not Kingston College supporters.
I know that. I know which school they would be calling from. They're probably in that same group that the problem started. But
Paul, the KC coaches have ego too as well.
Really? It's a KC trait, man. That's right. Seriously.
Yeah.
They're that type of people.
Because look here. You have to look back at also, the appeal against the Mona player. Think about it. It wasn't somebody from the zone. So
yeah. And my hope is that there's no more like boardroom decisions. I know how it is, but I don't like when
we can have some more. Maybe not in the Manning Cup, but it might be the Cup Cup. But there will be more because as time passes, you're going to have little issues coming up. Players transferring in, transferring out, that sort of thing. So that's why I think they're going to level it off by next year with just once they get in, it's 3/4, no sit out, none of all of that taken out of the mix.
All right. The other thing I want to ask is there is this whole situation, like people in some of the private schools who end up in high schools. Like you have players from Mount Pleasant who are now playing in the DaCosta Cup all across Jamaica. See one player in Westmoreland, I see players in St. Elizabeth, I see players in St. Catherine. I know at least 4 of these players, they were playing for Mount Pleasant up to the 3rd and 4th playoff against Tivoli. They were in the Mount Pleasant squad. That was the 2nd of October, and they were camped at Mount Pleasant doing school there, or they were out of school. All right? How could those players know? What would make those players be able to represent a team
Okay. Let me answer that. If a player leaves from a private high school or a private school, which Mount Pleasant is, right? Once they are, these are how the rules go. If they are under the age of 50, if they are 15 years of age, or they are going to be 16 after the 1st of September, they can play automatically without sitting out the year, without having any subjects. If they are over 16, they have to have at least 4 CXCs or the equivalent to get into to play, and they have to be placed. Well, they don't even have to, they have to be placed into sixth form at that stage, right? So that is how that would work in that scenario. So it's either the age under 15 or under 16 after September, or they have to have subjects and be placed in sixth form. There's no other way for them to play. Or they would have had to have got in a year prior, and then they would be able to.
Which mean that they would have sat out a year.
Even there was no competition last year, they would have been able to play this year if the teams got them in. I think that's a case. That's a case with some players that are playing this year for some teams. You know, they got them in last year when there was no competition, and then now they're eligible this year.
Okay. I think as this thing go on, some of these things are going to be investigated. I just feel like people are going to get in problems. And I'm talking about especially the ones that I saw playing in Premier League. Because if you're playing in Premier League in October for like a Mount Pleasant, you were at Mount Pleasant. You're at Mount Pleasant. And if you're at Mount Pleasant, you would have been doing school because you're in school, or you were not attending school any at all. This was up to October. Ooh. So how could you have been registered for? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. These are questions I'm asking.
Taking private classes at Mount Pleasant.
You could be taking private classes and be registered at the next school?
Before. They would have to have been registered at whichever school they're playing for now from the year prior.
Which is from, exactly.
Right. Only way that's possible. No other way. The only other way would be the age, right? So these would have to be players, as I said, 15 years, or they just turned 16 sometime after September.
Is there any age limit in the Premier League? Like, what age can you play in the Premier League? The local Premier League at 15?
Let me tell you, the youngest Premier League player I remember playing, I remember Tivoli did it sometime back with a 14-year-old. And even this year, Cavalier was going to be playing one of the St. George's players who was, I think, 14 at the time. You know, so technically you can play in there at 14, so you can.
I have a question to ask, but I'm going. Parchment has his hand up. Go ahead, Javan.
One thing before you go on. Remember, those young players, you know, once they're under 18, even if they can't play in the Premier League because they don't need, they won't have a contract, because they can't have a contract until they are 18. So that is not even that part of the Premier League thing is not an issue, right? So you can. The only thing is that each team has a limited amount of players. Well, it doesn't matter because you can have as many and you just rotate them.
All right. Here's the thing that I don't understand, because
without contract.
In a lot of the European leagues, you cannot play unless you have gotten to your 16th birthday. So
well, I can tell you, I know that Junior Fleming played 14, right? That's in the past. I think, right? Don't get me wrong. I think that in our league, at 15, you can play. At 15. And at around, when I went back, I said at the 14, the last player I know that did it was Junior Fleming. But up to now, I think the player might very well have to be at least 15.
To play. Okay.
Because the Cavaliers had a number 15 years has played. Plus, we have had Ryan Miller in not too far past, who actually captained a Premier League match at 15.
Okay, listen, Brian Mighty, USL a corner league, man. We're not talking like corner league. You can play corner league at any age.
USL is a developmental league, you know. There's no
Yeah.
promotion, demotion, that sort of thing. They just use it to develop players.
Yeah,
It's just straight development.
Yeah. All right. How does the new 7-year mandatory school period affect player eligibility? I think he's asking, because you will have to be in school regardless of how many subjects you pass.
You can still transfer, won't make a difference. Just that the thing that's going to make a difference is the cap. The cap that, you know, basically it's a skill-based thing. So will ISA start to recognize students who leave from maybe one to go to another school that might not have, all of the schools I don't think might have the same subject areas. So say one leaves from one program to go to another program to say do electrical engineering, that sort of thing, or electrical wiring, whatever. You understand? And he only has one subject, but technically it's another grade. It's a grade 12, sixth form. So that's something I think that the interpretation for that, but at the time right now, you have to have 4 subjects minimum to go into sixth form. You must. So unless ISA has done something that they haven't advised anybody on, which no other coach, most coaches don't know about that, it's not possible.
Yeah. And then he's asking you a question. Paul Maxwell, you don't think the elite schools have a way around the registration?
Actually, let me tell you, not the elite schools. The smaller schools will try to find a way around, not the elite ones. The elite ones are too much under the spotlight, right? The
Makes
smaller
sense,
schools, no. Because I know of a particular case of a coach from a smaller school that I had a player that had, I think it was 2 or 3 subjects, and they said, don't worry, we can get them in sixth form here. And I said, really? But on checking with somebody else, you know, from another 2 people from 2 other prominent schools, they just advised me, right, what I knew already, that it's not possible. But you might have cases of youngsters, because of the new CAP program, they're slotting them in there, you know. So that might be one of the things that's happening now with some of these schools. I'm not saying that's it, but the smaller schools will more likely the ones that are taking these risks, not the bigger ones.
All right, Parchment, you had the hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, is one. So I was going to give you an example. There were a player in 2019 from Charlemont who left and play for Cumberland. He didn't pass all his 6 years. I think he had 1 6 year or 2, and they put him over in Cumberland in the CAP program, and he got ID from ISA. So my problem is this: why ISA doesn't make a committee that, you know, go and scrutinize these things? Why print an ID for players that are not eligible? Why?
Because ISA wouldn't know. ISA wouldn't know.
Hold on there. He left one school and went to the other school, took his exams at the school, right?
He took his exams at Charlemont.
Oh, and then went to the school, and then he got into the CAP program, and then no, and that's just if you know about those, when people know about these things, you know, sometimes ISA is not infallible, you know, they make mistakes. Things like these happen. It's like the case with the player at Mona. The other school that he's coming from knew exactly what his grades were and so on. So, you know, they're not going to
it's up to a school. It's just like, I think how the system work is, listen, we will print the ID unless there's a glaring error. So, for example, if I print the ID for you last season and you were at, say, Wolmer's, and I'm printing an ID for you this season, then I'm probably going to check to see your age and stuff. But where some of the times I don't like when I think about some of the schools that a person going to Cumberland, you'd probably think like there's no way a Cumberland is going to break the rule because they're probably still not going to stand a chance of winning. So let's print the ID kind of a thing. So however, now it is for the schools who know to probably lodge an appeal, because sometimes it don't matter, you know. Dintil may not have done it because Cumberland what Cumberland does don't affect them necessarily.
Okay, let me tell you what some schools do. Some schools will know about it, and they'll make the team go on and just rack up a certain amount of points using the particular ineligible playing a number of matches, and then speak at a certain time when they lose all of those points. Because they say, oh, that school might be a threat now, so let's just make them lose all of the points. So that's another thing that some people might do.
Man, you see that word name expect in that sentence there?
Yeah.
Expect the unexpected. You cannot trust people. And
No, but what he's saying is a valid point. Remember, it's a committee of principals. Follow me. In other words, the expectations are you set the rules. It's just like, for example, if the police force, for example, set a rule that says, listen, don't drink rum on the street. And you don't expect the police to be drinking rum on the street because they made the rule. What he's saying is true. If I am the principal and I say, listen, for you to play from this school, move from this school to this school and play, this is the rule. Here is the rule. And then I go and break the rule. Like, you can't expect that because you didn't have to set the rule. You could let things be as they are. So if you put the rule in place, why do you need to go and break it? If the IDs were reprinted by the coaches, I could understand. But it is the principals, because the principals have to give permission for the kids to be in the school.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying, man, is that ISA cannot trust themselves.
What do you mean? Huh?
Because they are making the rule and breaking the rules.
No, what I'm saying to apartment is that you're assuming that they know. In other words, I am a principal. You, the coach, the football director comes to me and say, listen, we have this player. He's coming from whatever school. All right? And I say, well, the rule says he's supposed to have this, he's supposed to have that. And I say, no, man, he has everything. Some principals will take that, because they're saying that I know that the head of my sports department is not going to break the rule because my school is not going to win anything. That is the point. The point I'm making is that when you know that your school not going to win the Costa Cup or the Manning Cup, why are you going to break a rule?
Sometimes to see how far that they can go for the first time. Sometimes that's the idea in the back of the school's mind, They say, Lord, let me see if I can make a little run. I might not reach far, but let's see how far I can go.
What I am saying is that they should have a committee that goes around and check, because these principals are whoever the principal leave in charge to scrutinize in the school system. They are not doing a good job because teams are cheating. All right, for example, Charlie Mount. Right? For example, Charlie Mount with the guy with the grades. Right? You know what was the problem on his man?
Yeah.
They tamper with the CXC paper and the profile grades wasn't changed. You understand? So they write Roman numeral II, IV, or 1V.
I don't like when I do those things because you can't. I don't like. Sometimes I don't like to put things out there that cannot be proven.
No, it can be proven. But it can't be proven.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be the student themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
The man, it can be proven. No, but we won't put it on live. You understand?
Hold on. All right, let me take something. Let me Calabar versus Charlie Smith gonna start, so we're gonna close the stream in a while. But let me take professional pro football club. Respect and thanks for your comment. And then I see you make a next one that would give the league too much hype. What kind of hype we give in the league? It is a sports in our country. Like the NFL is trash, MLS is trash. I believe EPL is trash. I believe La Liga is trash. I believe that the Bundesliga is trash. That's a person's opinion. It don't mean that they can't debate it. Not because you don't believe the league is good mean that other people can talk about it. You understand me? Nobody's hyping up any player. Nobody's saying that none of these players are going to move into a professional club. And we have had players who have left Jamaica from high school and they have gone into professional clubs.
Straight into Europe.
Straight into Europe. It is not impossible for it to happen. Keith Kelly left schoolboy football and went to professional club. Ricardo Gardner left and did that. Ricardo Fuller left and went into professional setup. All of these guys. So it's one thing to say that we must hype up the players. But talking
Peter
about
McGregor.
the league, Peter McGregor, right? So there are players. What's the other one?
Nicholson.
Huh?
Shamar Nicholson.
Shamar Nicholson. There's a next one from over St. Catherine as well. Oh, geez. Romario Biggs as well. These guys left out of the same.
Kaim Paris.
Quality, no good. Kaim Paris, 17-year-old, playing in Europe. So do not say that. You understand me? If we can find one talent, we talk about it because we are Jamaican, and this is what we have. We don't have La Liga doesn't belong to us. You understand me? We are not watching the Spanish under-17 league. This is what we are watching. So if this is what we are watching,
let me tell that person something. Hey,
Norman Campbell left school.
People from Czech Republic, other places in Europe, they do watch the leagues and they do it to support players. I'm not guessing on this. I know it as a fact. So don't worry. People are checking on your players. So don't fool yourself. People do check it. So when people
Tariq McGee left right after as well. All of these
guys,
guys.
they do.
Come on, man. Don't be so harsh. What's the guy named Brian who was at JC? He went away. He left high school and went away. He just came back to Jamaica. Brian is his name. He was at Portmore. I think he's at Harborview now. But his name is Brian. He was a center forward out there. So come on, man.
Italy Vaso.
You understand me? So let's be.
There's a lot of names.
Too many names, man. Too many names.
Rafiq, Brian. And the point I'm making.
Don't call Rafiq. That's another thing. That's another conversation.
Yeah. And let me say this to you. People forget that Alex Marshall should have gone to Germany.
Schoolboy football held him back.
And schoolboy football kept him in Jamaica. And look what has happened.
Same thing with Rafiq, Brian, too.
Clemens too.
Huh?
Clemens too.
Yeah. But anyway, so let's move on. Yeah, man. So let me just, But people, the big game is starting. Charlie Simit versus Calabar. So we are going to run. But join us back at 5 when we will have Linval Rudy Dixon on the show with us. And he will be talking about his journey in football. So we're going to have that this evening at 5. Linval Rudy Dixon. So right after the 2 games today, you can jump on over. I will give you the update at that point as well because I don't like to miss a minute of these games. I watch it. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead, Maxwell. What you want to say in closing? You have a minute to close and see.
Okay, quickly. Next day is going to be Monday, right? So I'm going to say it from now. KC, Camperdown, St. Catherine, JC, Calabar, KT. I don't think I'm going to change that on Monday. I think that looks like how it might be. And I'm going to also add this thing to my star performers for the week here. Keshawn Wisdom, Mequan Aldridge, Jamon Barkley, Kenalda Brown, Chris Pearson, and Mario Smith. I'm going to add that, players that I've seen that I have a lot of time for. But management, out.
Bless you. All right, go watch the game. Parchment, your time. Go ahead.
Well, I just think that Manning's High School won't make it through the group.
I think I should just remove you from the stream. That is what I should do. Just remove you from the stream for that comment.
I'm not purposely. Anyway, yes, people. It's going to be hard to predict who is coming out of the group. But see, I picked them and Mona to come out over St. Catherine. I see Mona as a better team than St. Catherine. Calabar will come out as well, Jamaica College and Kingston Technical. Tivoli is falling apart now, I don't know why. Yeah, Camperdown is in the mix as well. So over in the D'Costa Cup, it's going to be difficult tomorrow for Charlie Mount and until anyone lose, they are practically, can kiss the next round goodbye. A lot of hard games to play. People, just tune in, check it out. If you don't know where to go, you can come to this website and get the results, get everything. Or you can come and click back on I Am Sure Sports and get all the information you want. And remember to subscribe to Unseen Sports TV. Yes, we see sports from a different angle.
Yeah, man. All right, there you go, people. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Unseen. Thank you, Christela, who jumped on for a little while. Thanks to Maxwell, the scout, no doubt. Yeah, man, big scout all across the country. Thanks to everyone in the comment section, right? I really appreciate you sticking and staying and supporting all our content, not just reggae boy stuff, but even when we discuss schoolboy football. We do it because we're Jamaican and we are patriotic. And whatever is happening in our country that is positive, if one youngster get help, we owe it to them to speak about it. You understand me? We talk about things not when people are at the top, but we talk about it from their origins and see what happens. We don't want to jump on the wagon when everything is up and going. That's how we are. We have to pay respect and tribute to the youngsters. You understand me? We see 13-year-old and 12-year-old playing in our leagues, and we big them up for that. We may not make it to your La Ligas of the world and your Bundesliga, but that doesn't mean that we are any less. I may never be the leader of the biggest church in the world. We may never have people in the biggest banks in the world. That doesn't mean that we are less than anybody. Wherever we are, once we give 100% and we excel in what we do, we deserve credit for our work. We are not measured by leagues in England and we are not measured by that. We are measured by our ability to fulfill our potential and maximize our life wherever we are. That's how we are measured. So never, youngsters, if you're out there and listening to me, never let people tell you because you're not somewhere else, you're not somebody. Wherever you are, be the best you can, do the best you can. That's all you can do in this life. And people, at some point, will live to treasure and respect that. Thanks to all our viewers. Thanks to all our subscribers. We respect you. We honor you for every thought and every comment. Big up the coach's desk. Coach Minzy, big him up. Listen, he has a show later tonight. It's going to be a very, very good one. I think it starts at 7:10. So after you watch the Lindwall Dixon interview, you just jump right over to it. And all the other vloggers out there putting out content, the Formula, Talawa TV, Dre Anyweather, Unseen Sports, who supports me a whole lot. Check out his stuff. Sports Frenzy, Ryan LFC, Military Guna. You understand me? Come on, man. Check them out. Show them some love. It's one Jamaica, one people. And one of the things I want to see in the vlogging, the Reggae Boys commentary, in the vlogging thing, is that we don't make this the entertainment industry where we seek to divide and conquer, but we need to unite and rule. Bless you. Remember to big up our sponsors, Tricknick, and we're going to leave with a word from them. So again, thank you for tuning in. If you have not yet, please hit the like button and also subscribe too.
Tricknick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Tricknick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.